Good morning, and welcome back to the first episode of Daybreak this semester.
We have a new and improved Daybreak that we are so excited to show you.
Plenty of new segments and stories in store for you, from BSU's hoedown to what's going on in the upcoming election.
Wake up and smell the coffee, Pittsburgh, because Daybreak starts right now.
In Butler County, Pennsylvania, local leaders are gearing up for a significant political event as former President Donald Trump prepares for a rally. The gathering is expected to draw thousands of supporters, highlighting the region's ongoing importance in national politics. CBS reported that Trump will return to the site of the first assassination attempt in the first week of October. This rally is scheduled for October 5th at the Butler Farm Show Fairgrounds in Pennsylvania. Manager of Butler Township, Tom Knight, said, quote, "Thus far we have not been contracted by any agency or campaign about a return rally," end quote. Knight also reports to CBS News that officers are ready and waiting for any suspicious activity. The United States Secret Service is intended to implement significant changes for Trump's second visit. CBS reported that KDKA-TV had reached out to the Secret Service for more insight on what their plans are, but they haven't received a response. Ever since the incident, Trump has hosted rallies and spoken behind bulletproof glass. I don't know, guys, what do you think about him returning back to the place where the first assassination attempt took?
I mean, I personally think, I think it's an interesting tactic, especially with his campaign running and everything. It's definitely for Trump supporters going to be kind of this, I guess you would say, like, hero's moment in a way. So we can probably see later on how that's going to affect the actual election and everything. But I think at least for that part of it, it's going to be important for his supporters and for him.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I mean, he got a lot of good press the first time it happened with the photos that were taken, calling him like hero, you know, they can't take him down. There was that photo of him, you know, with the flag and all the Secret Service around him. So that was like pretty big in his campaign. So I think going back to that scene, I think that's what he's thinking. It'll be even better paint him in that hero light, even more kind of in that he's like so strong going back. But yeah.
Yeah, he's definitely using it as a symbol of his perseverance,
Yeah.
which is interesting.
Yeah.
We'll have to see what happens at this one.
So Pittsburgh's Highmark Stadium will now be housing a women's soccer team as they just announced their name, quote, the Pittsburgh Riveters, end quote. The team's name was voted on by members of the community and was based upon the famous wartime poster depicting Rosie the Riveter. The original poster was painted by Pittsburgh artist J. Howard Miller for Westinghouse Electric, making the team's name a nod to Steel City history. In reference to the team's name and logo, the president of the Pittsburgh Riveters Soccer Club, Jeff Garner, said, quote, "The resilience, unity, and courage she represents are the same traits we want our players and fans to embrace as we embark on this new chapter for Pittsburgh sports," end quote. According to Dan Visser, the sporting director of the Riveters and Riverhounds, they are already building the team for the upcoming season. As a part of the USLW, the Pittsburgh Riveters Soccer Club will start during the 2025 season in May. The schedule for the team's games will be released by the team at a later date. Until then, Pittsburghers can practice their "we can do it" for the upcoming matches. So I did find it quite interesting and kind of fun that adding this new sports team, I mean, I'm not super well versed in sports, but I do think it's interesting that we have this new team going on in Pittsburgh specifically for women's sports and for young women out there who may want to move on up in the different rankings of different teams. It's a great opportunity, and I just love that they based it off of Rosie the Riveter as well with the connection to Pittsburgh history. What do you guys think?
Gosh, I think the name is really adorable.
Right?
Go girls, love.
No, I agree.
It's very important for young girls to see that on like a big screen. You know?
Yeah, I think women's sports have been becoming a lot more prominent in the recent years, and I think this is a great step forward for Pittsburgh.
I do think, like, ever since, like, Caitlin Clark became a big thing, I think, like, women's sports is taking a new step in the right direction. So I'm excited to see what happens and how the team does this upcoming year.
Yes, I agree completely. I agree.
Get ready to hoe down, throw down, as the great Hannah Montana would say, as Point Park's very own Black Student Union will be holding a BSU hoedown. It will be the BSU's 7th annual block party thrown by the organization to kick off a new fall semester. The block party will be held on Friday, September 27th at Village Park from 6 to 8 p.m. At the event, the BSU will be providing a DJ for some dancing, fun mini games, and what I'm most excited for, food for all students who attend. However, there is a very stringent dress code in place. If you're planning on attending, you will need to be decked out in your best country attire. Be prepared to strap on your cowboy boots, dust off your cowboy hat, and please, don't even think about wearing those sweatpants you wear to class every week. I encourage anybody and everybody to come to attend the block party and to support the Black Student Union so that they can continue to advocate for greater diversity on campus and so that the BSU can continue to advocate for all students. So please make your way down to the hoedown and live your best Western cow wrangling fantasy. If I'm being completely honest, guys, I do not have any Western attire. I might have to hit up the Bison Exchange if I'm being completely honest. How about you guys?
I don't own a pair of boots either, so we're gonna have to figure that one out.
I think knowing Point Park, it's going to look like a pink pony club up in there. There will be pink pony hats, I do believe.
I have a selection of several cowboy hats from different parties that I've collected, so. But I don't have the rest of the attire, so we might have to go shopping for that because I love some free food.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And I mean, in addition to the food, like, I'm a girl who loves a theme. Give me a theme, I will dress for it.
Yes.
So I just love that element of any, I mean, that goes for any event on campus. If they have a theme, I'll show up in my best attire of that said theme.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's so fun to incorporate it.
Yeah, definitely looking forward to it. Attention all theater lovers. The Pittsburgh CLO has announced its 2025 PNC Summer of Musicals series productions. But unfortunately, there is a twist that is sure to disappoint many. Pittsburgh CLO has reduced the number of summer shows from the typical 6-show lineup down to 3, which is half of what it normally is, all of which will be occurring at the Benedum Center. According to WTAE, a statement from the Pittsburgh CLO reads, quote, "This change reflects our commitment to ensuring long-term sustainability while continuing to deliver the Broadway-caliber productions you've come here to see," end quote. According to the Pittsburgh CLO's website, the 3 productions scheduled to take place in the summer 2025 season are Lerner and Loewe's Camelot from June 17th through 22nd, Back to the Future the Musical from July 1st through 6th, and finally, Disney's Frozen from July 18th through 27th. Don't get too worried though, because the 2024 to 2025 PNC Broadway in Pittsburgh series of productions is still in full swing, with many other productions scheduled to visit the Benedum later this year and early next year, which include current production Hamilton until September 29th, and future productions Anne Juliet, MJ the Musical, Funny Girl, Life of Pi, Kimberly Akimbo, Peter Pan, and Some Like It Hot. Now, me personally, I love going to the Benedum and seeing shows. I love that Pittsburgh is a place where so many shows come and see, so we can see it. And I was a little disappointed to hear that they're not doing as many summer shows. I get that it's to, keep it like as professional and amazing as each show can be to kind of give more attention to each one, but I was still like, dang, I can't believe they're cutting them down to half of what they usually are.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard with like anything arts related. I mean, I think we're very lucky and fortunate in Pittsburgh to have an amazing cultural trust and like so many things going on, like events wise and performance wise. But it is kind of disappointing when you see like the bigger dogs in the area also kind of getting like not shut down, but just like lessening a little bit. I know like people have talked about Pittsburgh Ballet, where they don't have a live orchestra anymore, and a lot of people are really sad from that, and I mean me included, and it's just because they sometimes don't have the means to do it, but it is kind of unfortunate for us Pittsburgh theater girlies to be able to see like as many shows as we can in the area.
No, I definitely agree. I think the Benedum Center is such a great place, especially with like the backstage ability they have. Like the stage is adaptable to any show, literally any show. I actually saw MJ the Musical and it was fantastic.
Oh.
And so it's going to be amazing at the Benedum, and I'm really excited to see what they do with it there. So.
Absolutely, and it's such a beautiful theater.
It is,
Yeah, it
yeah.
really is.
I've seen so
Oh
many
my
shows
gosh,
there, and I'm excited to hopefully see some that I just mentioned in this season because there's so many like good ones coming. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, yeah. I can't wait to see it. We're going to go for a quick break. When we come back, we will hear from our lovely reporters.
Don't go anywhere.
Welcome to the first sideline slice of the school year. I'm Jake Bell, and Pitt football will be the topic of discussion today, as they sit 4-0 for the first time since the year 2000. After whiffing on transfer quarterbacks Kadon Slovis, Fulger Kovic, and Christian Veillere, seems like Pitt has finally found their answer at quarterback in Eli Holstein. Holstein's heroics earned him ACC Rookie of the Week for all 4 weeks he has played thus far. NFL stars Lamar Jackson and Trevor Lawrence are some notable ACC quarterbacks to win the award multiple times, which puts Holstein in good company. The transfer portal didn't only improve the quarterback position for Pitt, however. Offensive coordinator Cade Bell brought in some great transfers from his former school, Western Carolina. Wide receivers Sincere Lee, Poppy Williams, and running back Desmond Reed were all brought in from WCU and have greatly impacted the offense. Reed in particular currently averages over 106 rushing yards a game, proving to be an instant playmaker for the undefeated Panthers. After the bye week, Pitt will travel to Chapel Hill and face the University of North Carolina. If they win, it will be the Panthers' first win at UNC in program history. And so I was writing the report on Eli Holstein and Desmond Reed, and I realized both of them are younger than me. I think it's crazy. I'm at that point. Yeah, I'm at that point where college players are younger than me. Guys I used to idolize. I don't know if you guys feel the same way, but I just want to mention that. It's crazy.
I've been thinking about that too. How I've always felt like college, athletes felt like so much older and like professionals, and now I'm, a senior in college. I'm not going to be in college next year, and I'm going to be older than all these people that are, in my opinion, pro athletes, even though they're not in the pro leagues or in college. But it's just crazy to think. I remember going to Pitt football games when I was little and seeing them play, and now those are my peers. So it's definitely strange.
Yeah, I think around here especially, anyone from Pittsburgh is big on sports, and just seeing anyone going to the Pitt games, when a Pitt game is going on downtown, a Pitt game is going on downtown. So I think that relates to thinking that they're so much older than you and so much more professional, and you're they're really just a guy.
Absolutely.
But guys doing great things apparently from what you've been saying about everything.
Yeah, Rookie of the Week 4 times in a row.
Yeah, I should have done more. I couldn't find anything if that was the only time someone's ever done that, but I was that's crazy. Because Pitt struggled at the quarterback position since Kenny Pickett, so it was nice to have him do well and to see a lot of success early on for Pitt. So.
No, yeah, someone from my high school actually plays on Pitt, McMillan. I don't know.
Oh, Donovan McMillan, yeah.
He went to my high school, so it's interesting to see him get all this hype when I knew him as someone that I was friends with in school. So it's just it's crazy.
That's crazy. All right, well, thank you so much, Jake. Up next, we're going to be tossing things over to our PolitiSmack reporter, Ethan Rowinski.
Take it away, Ethan.
Welcome back to another year of PolitiSmack. And in the midst of an incredibly tense election in probably the single most contentious state in the country, I think it's important for us to take a look at what we haven't been able to report on over the summer. So here's an incredibly brief overview of the past 4 months. In May, Donald Trump was found guilty of 34 charges of illegally influencing the 2016 election via hush money payments to porn star Stormy Daniels. This, however, has not seemed to hamper Donald Trump's momentum. It even seems like a point of pride for some supporters. Most of June was fairly quiet until the 27th, when the first and last debate occurred between Trump and Biden. To put it mildly, Biden's performance was disastrous, with him fumbling his words and being unable to finish sentences several times. Panic spread among the Democratic Party starting that night, and as June rolled into July, more and more official congressmen began to call on Biden to drop out of the race. In the midst of all of this, Donald Trump was nearly assassinated in Butler County, with the would-be assassin grazing Trump's ear and killing one audience member. This assassination attempt was turned into major good PR for the Trump campaign, as the attempt occurred only 2 days prior to the Republican National Convention, where various Electoral College members wore bandages on their ears in solidarity. A few days after that convention concluded, Biden officially dropped out of the 2024 race, endorsing his vice president, Kamala Harris. The Democratic Party immediately rallied behind her, and she officially became the nominee at the Democratic National Convention, with her picking Minnesota Governor Tim Walz as her running mate. To end August, independent candidate Robert Kennedy Jr. suspended his campaign and threw his support behind Donald Trump. Getting into September, Kamala Harris and Donald Trump held their first debate, with one potentially happening in the future. And just last week, Donald Trump evaded a potential second assassination attempt, with details of that case still emerging. And that is an incredibly brief rundown of the events of summer 2024 for this election. So like I was saying, so much has happened over the summer, and most people don't even tune into the election until Labor Day. So we still have 4 weeks to go on, what's going to happen next, And like you were saying earlier, the Trump assassination attempt and this most recent one was really good PR for the Trump campaign. I mean, it's fueled the momentum of the hero image like you guys were talking about.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting to see the candidates kind of interact. I mean, also for the current debate that just happened, what was it, like a week and a half ago? It was crazy seeing that, but also the different forms of PR, like Trump has like the different PR with like the different assassination attempts, and then on like the younger side of it, like Kamala Harris, we've seen a lot of like TikToks and different like edits from the younger generation.
That's been a big part of her. Thing. That's been a big part of her campaign strategy. And on top of the social media reaching out to younger generations, I was talking to an Al Jazeera reporter, and her campaign has been very much trying to focus on to covering all the small towns throughout the area. Getting that I'm not just this big city San Francisco woman. I love reaching out to all these small towns, and a large part of that is why she's been in Western PA so much, with all of our surrounding counties, including Butler County, where Trump has his rally soon. I mean, she's really trying to focus on that.
Yeah, she spoke at our Carnegie Mellon the other day.
Exactly.
So I think she's really trying to testify to like a younger crowd for sure.
Oh, absolutely.
For sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
And her using like her old job at McDonald's as well.
Yeah, for sure. And trying to contrast that with Trump and his, growing up in a very, wealthy Manhattan, home just in general. But, Trump's trying to contrast that with, okay, well, you might have grown up, middle class, but now you're part of the Democratic establishment, and he's still running on that drain the swamp moniker, absolutely.
Yeah. Definitely two very different candidates and very different
very
running, very different target demographics in their campaigns, and it's interesting to see how each one is trying to appeal to the different demographics.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and it's especially interesting from the college perspective of a lot of us are going to be able to vote in our first presidential election. So
I mean, it's definitely my first presidential election.
So it's going to be one to watch for sure.
Absolutely. And we're running an election show here at UView, so definitely be on the lookout for that show. Absolutely.
Can't wait.
Thanks so much, Ethan. And now to our weather report.
This week brings us showers and cloudy skies, including this weekend, so be sure to bring an umbrella wherever your plans take you.
These showers lead us into some sunny weather early next week, so hopefully these showers don't last too long.
I agree, Sav. And with that being said, we're going to go for another break, but don't go away because our brand new segment, Daybreak Hotline, will be coming up right after the break. It's a tough crowd.
Welcome back, and welcome to Daybreak Hotline.
We are so excited to share this new segment with you guys, as this is something new for all of us.
Daybreak Hotline is our way of hearing from you guys. We sent out a form to collect anonymous questions, conversation starters, or games for us to play on the show here.
And with that, let Daybreak Hotline begin.
For this week's Daybreak Hotline, we'll be answering your questions. Everybody ready?
Oh, yeah.
What is your favorite aspect of living in Pittsburgh?
Well, I'm a city girl myself, and I mean, I am from around here, but I've always gone to the city more so for just like seeing a show or here and there. And I really just love living downtown, like the aspect of it. I like being around a lot of people and being where everything is happening. So that's kind of a reason that I love it personally.
I agree. I love just being down here where everything's happening and you can like go to things last minute. Like if you want to go to a Penguins game, you can get like rush tickets like an hour
Yeah.
before and just go, and everything's just so close and there's so much going on here. Like there's always something to do. You're never bored. I think that's probably one of my favorite parts of living in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Coming from a very small town, we can't do anything. Nothing's there. It's very nice living here.
Yeah, I definitely think it's also very affordable for college students. Just like, we have like student discounts and, you get to ride public transportation for free. So I definitely think that it is very affordable for college students now that I'm transitioning into my freshman year. I'm
Yeah,
kind of finding that out. So
Oh yeah, the public transit stuff has been very nice
Yes,
at Point Park.
very
Because I
nice.
know, like my freshman year, we didn't have the free bus passes.
Yeah.
They just started it last year, and that was like now I just go to Oakland all the time. I get my boba. Like,
Yes.
it's so fun doing that kind of stuff. So that's an aspect I really love.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, another question we have is: do you think Starbucks is overrated?
Guys, I don't know. I have mixed opinions on it because my bank account is telling me yes, but personally, I'm saying no.
Sort of, kinda. I mean, I've never really cared about it that much. I'm not a coffee drinker, so
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm the right person to ask. If I'm
Yeah.
being completely, I do drink matcha, and the matcha's all right.
Okay, yeah. I'm kind of the same way where like I've just started drinking things from like different coffee shops and whatnot recently because I'm not a coffee person, but I love a good chai latte. So like, and Starbucks chai lattes are like fine, like they're good, but sometimes you find like a smaller shop and you're like, yes, this eats. So like, I think it's kind of like if you just need like, especially with like the corporate aspect of it, if you just need something quick, like it'll do the job, but will you get all that love? Like that's the question, That's kind of where I'm at.
I'm a huge coffee person. I've always loved Starbucks, like forever. There was a Starbucks in the Giant Eagle right next to my house when I was little, so I'd get like hot chocolate growing up before I was drinking coffee. And it's pricey, and that's been killing me. It used to be really nice when Point Perk sold Starbucks coffees my first 3 years on campus, and now they don't anymore. And it was so fun because you could use your flex dollars, and it wasn't like real money. So I was like getting Starbucks for free. It felt like, but unfortunately now I have to take out a loan every time I want to get an apple crisp chai. So.
I do think they are bringing like lattes and stuff back to Point Perk though.
Oh,
I was just
okay.
speaking to someone and they were like going to bring it back. I don't think it's going to be Starbucks products necessarily, but it's going to be something that's like it'll still get your coffee for the day. But yeah,
Very cool.
no, I agree.
Interesting.
Yeah, so maybe a little overrated, but
Maybe a little bit.
still delish.
It's still good.
Next up, what is a special skill you guys have? I can do this like, I don't know how special it is. I can do this
I
thing
think
with
it's
my
so special.
hands.
I don't. Yes. Wait. Yes. Wait. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's very
love,
special.
love.
Guys, I'm gonna be honest. I don't know.
Yeah.
Hey, girl, didn't you say you were a dance major?
I am a dance major.
Well, okay. Like, do a little grunge for us.
I can
Can you
dance.
do the coffee grinder?
I can do a coffee grinder.
Love.
But unfortunately, I don't think this is the time and place to just whip out a coffee grinder, unfortunately.
Man.
I also can do a coffee grinder. My dance teacher put those in as many dances as she could,
Yes.
so I got
Of
pretty good
course.
at them. Still, not time and place to do one. But I like to think I'm a little fun. I like to think I'm funny. That's like kind of a special thing. I like to make people laugh. So I don't know how true it is, but
Yeah.
that's what I like to believe about myself.
I mean, I think mine are more so like music related because I grew up doing like music. So like, I guess like singing or I was in marching band. So like,
Oh, me too.
Same.
yes!
Same.
Oh my gosh, yeah. I played like trombone and like sousaphone, like the tuba.
Oh,
so like I was all up in the low brass. So if you want, or I can pull out a cello. Like I'm not very good at cello, but like if you want to play something, if you want me to play something that's in a bass clef, like all right, I'll pull up.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember we knew each other from marching band. That
We
was crazy. I was in the
did.
color guard, so
That's true.
watch out. I can handle
It's
a
true.
6-foot flag.
What did you play?
I played the alto saxophone.
Okay, alto sax. Let's go.
Guys, don't sleep on me. I played the flute in 4th grade.
Yes!
Don't sleep on me.
So we've actually all brought our instruments here.
You
Point
guys
Park marching
wish.
band.
And let's close it out with our final question of Daybreak Hotline. What is your biggest pet peeve?
Guys, I really hate whenever like you squirt ketchup and like water comes out.
Oh no!
It's like it like ruins my meal when it happens. I'm like, nope, done.
Yeah.
I hate slow walkers.
Oh,
Yep.
real. Yeah.
It's a good one.
Yup.
I love being able to like come out from behind someone and walk right past them, very passive aggressively. It's very, it's delicious.
Yeah, I think one that's like a pet peeve that's always got me, even when I was younger and to this day, not as bad to this day, but when people like, when someone will step on the back of your shoe and it comes off.
Flat tire.
Yeah, and I just like, it's always the days that you're having the worst one too. And then like it's when you're wearing a shoe that can't easily be put back on. So the whole shoe comes off and then you're like in the middle of the street like crying.
Yeah.
That's how I feel
crying.
about it. Yeah. That's usually how it
Yeah.
goes.
I'm a person that's big into using like the apps and the discounts for like food places and things like that. So one of my biggest pet peeves is when I'm kind of in a rush, so I'll mobile order something with like plenty of time for it to have been ready, and it's like 1 or 2 things maybe, and I still have to wait like 10, 15
Yeah.
minutes when I get there. Like if I'm ordering on my phone, like I feel like I should be prioritized. Like I'm sending in my order and I think it should be ready when I get there. So it really makes me upset when I have to wait like for something when I ordered it 15 minutes ago and I see people walking up to the counter and ordering and getting it before me.
Yeah.
It's very valid.
Yeah, so that's definitely one of my biggest pet peeves.
Oh yeah. Ugh.
Oh, and I guess that's all we have for the first episode of Daybreak. Thank you so much for watching and spending your morning with us.
You can catch our next episode on the YouTube channel UVIEW Television. UView.
Or you can go follow our Instagram page at Daybreak PPU.
I'm Cade.
I'm Sav.
I'm Berkeley.
And I'm Annabella. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next week.